Morning. Welcome to Thoughts Can Change Your Life with me, Reverend Lee. We're here every day, 365, talking about questions that help us find answers, answers to leading a life centered in love. Today, the question is, can I be happy all the time? Well, I'll tell you this, the belief that you can be happy all the time is the opioid of the masses. It's the opioid of the masses because what? Society wants you to believe you can be happy all the time. Why so? So they can sell you stuff. Because society wants you to believe that your happiness comes from outside of you. That if you get this specific car, you wear these specific clothes, you dine at these specific restaurants, you eat this type of food, you go to these type events, that you will be happy all the time. And guess what? Anyone out there find that it works? I haven't found that it worked. Because what I understand is that life is like a coin. One side of life is happy, the other side is not. Why? Because life is about contrast. So I like to substitute the word about being happy all the time. Can I feel fulfilled? Fulfilled is embracing both sides of the coin. Fulfilled is the feeling that one creates within themselves when they set upon a specific path toward achieving something that is meaningful to them, and they encounter both the happy, the challenging sides of that, but it leads them to a more expansive life. It leads them to a greater sense of awareness. It leads them to be fully present in the experience of life, both the yin and the yang, the good, the bad, the dark and the light, the loud and the quiet. See, that's the really key thing, is that what we should be teaching our children, what we should be teaching ourselves, is that how can I discover my unique gifts, my unique way of being in the world, and what can I do that with those gifts and that unique way cause me to have a sense of fulfillment? That's really a good one. It's fulfillment gives you what? It gives you a sense of satisfaction, doesn't it? It goes back to the Rolling Stones. I can't get no. I'm driving around the world and I'm doing this and I'm signing that. And I'm trying to meet some girl. But baby, 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 come back next week because you see, I'm on a losing streak. The Stones, spiritual teachers. You're not going to get satisfaction from a one-sided life because it's impossible. You get satisfaction from leading a fulfilling life. That's one of the biggest things that I've learned in my time on this planet, is that when I am moving towards something that juices me, that excites me, that engages me, and I feel that sense of fulfillment, I'm going to take it and I'm going to run with it and I'm not going to stop. I am not going to procrastinate. I only procrastinate when it's something that does not have a high meaning for me. But if it's something I love, something that gives me the greatest sense of fulfillment, I'm inspired. I'm going to do it. Just like every day. I never procrastinate about talking to you. I don't worry about a topic. I know the topic is going to show up because the topic is about living life. You see, spirituality is not trying to get out of the body. Spirituality is the recognition that the soul that you are, the individualized point of consciousness that you are, has a body, has a mind, and you have the ability to think, you have the ability to create, and with the body, you have the ability to experience. And when you grasp that you have the ability to experience and create, you embrace everything in life, because without everything in life, you couldn't have experience. Well, Lee, I just wish that I could have experiences that make me feel good all the time. Well, that's just sort of a silly wish. Because if you only could experience one side, you wouldn't even know what the experience was, because there's no contrast from which to compare it to. And what do they say? Comparison is the death of joy. And what do? We're always comparing, aren't we? We compare and we become attached that we should have the feeling of being happy all the time. And that attachment to being happy all the time takes us down a dark rabbit hole of addiction. Addiction to material things, addiction to people, addiction to substances, addiction to habits. Now, not all habits are bad if they're consciously chosen and they serve for your highest expansion. I'm all for that. I've got a lot of those. How do I know? Because I've created them. I understand that one of the keys to me having a fulfilling life is creating habits that serve in my creative ability to create a fulfilling life. I have a habit of meditating. I have a habit of deep breathing. I have a habit of doing spiritual mind treatment. I have a habit of spiritual study. I have a habit of going to the gym. I have a habit of eating healthy. I have a habit of drinking water. I have a habit of being in gratitude. I have a habit of spending quality time with my wife, my sons, with my granddaughter. Ooh, let me share this. Last night was a first. Let me share some contrast. A first. We did a FaceTime. We're going to call my son Matthew for a FaceTime with my granddaughter Claire. Now, what was interesting is I never saw my son or my son-in-law. Never saw him. Claire answered the call on her iPad. Apparently, when I called my son, it also rings on her iPad, and she answered it. And for the first time, now Claire's just over 5. She's about 5.5 now. But guess what? The whole call was just her and Jean and I. And it was like we were having conversation with the little people. And she was showing us all this stuff. Guess what we did on that call? We played hide and seek. Can you even imagine on Zoom or on FaceTime playing hide and seek with your granddaughter? Was I happy? Yes. I love the contrast because the contrast causes you to be happy. I love that. I love that. Here's the key thing. Can you fall in love with life? Can you fall in love with contrast? Can you fall in love with yourself, who's always deciding on whether to be in harmony, to be in contrast, or to be disconnected? Can you fall in love with yourself by not judging yourself? If you cannot judge yourself, you will live a fulfilling life and you will die with a smile on your face. With that, my beautiful ones, I love you. I love you so much, just like you are. So go out there today, embrace the contrast, and make this your most fulfilling day ever. Much love. Aloha.